We continue on with our Euro series today. We'll be talking about Group F, Group E, then we'll be talking about Group F, and then later tomorrow, I'll be posting predictors for all three of us and potentially also Isaac. But we'll start off first with Group E, how that group panned out. Spain finishing first. I mean, Sweden finishing first, Spain finishing second, Slovakia getting third, and Poland finishing fourth. As I pull up the standings real quick. So, as I pull up the standings, Imran, what were your thoughts on this group?
Um, I mean, Sweden did what they were supposed to do in the first game. I mean, they defended well and they got the point against Spain. And in the second game, who did they play? Slovakia. They beat Slovakia, and today it was up and down. I mean, but they got the job done, so they win the group. In Spain, they were a bit disappointing in the first two games. They couldn't. They had the. They had a lot of possession, but they couldn't uh, get through. They couldn't get that final ball. Morata was struggling, and they've missed two penalties in this tournament so far. But today they scored 5 goals and they beat they beat Slovakia. But Morata missed a penalty today too, so that was bad.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, my thoughts on Sweden. So I think Sweden, right? Sweden is actually a talented group. If I had to make the real dark horses right now heading into the knockout stage, they'd really be my dark horses. They play really well in transition. They have quality all over the pitch. Their back line is solid. They're set up really well by Jan Anderson, their manager, and they just did their business. And when they had to go to Spain, they kept it down. They kept it compact, and they got the result that they wanted. That sets them up for easier fixture in the round of 16, where they'll have to face Ukraine while Spain will have to face Croatia. So yeah, it's just a great result for Sweden. They got into the side of group of life, and I think that they have the quality and ability to play on transition that really frighten some of these top teams. So yeah, I think Sweden is deservedly number one. Spain, yeah, as you said, they were disappointing the first two games, not getting enough goals, not creating enough chances, not having that final ball. But today they passed the ball a lot more forward. It was not just sideways passing; it was going forward, putting it in dangerous areas, leading to mistakes by Slovakia, especially in the first half, that really opened the game. And this is the kind of result Spain has not had in their last two tournaments, three major tournaments in the group stages. A result that really, marks their presence. In 2018, really they struggled in all three games. Got a draw, struggled against Iran, struggled against Morocco, got a draw against Portugal, sorry, and then struggled against Iran, struggled in Morocco. Euro 2016, they lost to Croatia. They got a win against Turkey, but that was when Turkey was bad. Well, not saying Turkey is good now, and they yeah, and they struggled against Czech Republic too, then too. And then the tournament before that in 2014, it was just a disaster. They haven't had a game like this that really announced their presence. And I think this is the turning point for the Spanish team. And I would not be surprised if they make it far into this tournament, because they have the quality and they just need to work on their, and they can attack teams in a bunch of different ways. And they just need to move the ball forward. Today, the difference was getting that veteran leadership into the team. They brought out players that are not afraid of moments. Like they started Aspilicueta, who just won a Champions League. They played Busquets,
Busquets was yeah.
um, who has been the backup for Roger for the last game. After, I think, the first game he had COVID, but last game didn't play. They brought him in. They also made a change, bringing Paredes up top, who I think scored 2 goals, if I believe. So it was just three good substitutions by Enrique, bringing some more leadership into this team, getting rest for some of the guys. Who knows? Will they play in the round of 16? I'll be surprised if Marcus Llorente doesn't get back in there, because of just how dominant of a figure he is. But yes, Spain. I was very I wouldn't say surprised, but I was very encouraged, even though I'm not really a fan. Slovakia, Poland, it was Lewandowski show for Poland. Just not enough quality. I think that they really got hard done by Slovakia. I think they would have got the 3 points there if Gokoyak never gets sent off. That completely changed that game, and they got the point they needed against um Spain, and when they went to Sweden, I think that the fact that they didn't get a point is a little deceiving because they needed all 3 points and they attacked at the end, which gave an opening to Sweden to get the 3 points. But yeah, Poland, they weren't as bad as what it says. They look at what it says in these group stages, but just another disappointing tournament for them, just like 2018. And really, time is running out for Robert Lewandowski. They're going to struggle to make the World Cup too with England in their group. They're going to have to rely probably on, the little Nations League stuff. And could this be the end of Poland in major tournaments? I would fear as a Polish fan, at least for a while, till the new generation comes up. Slovakia, 1 win, 2 losses. Yeah, Slovakia, they did get that win against Poland that they relied on moments of magic from Mac. I think his name was Mac and Skriniar, with that beautiful goal. And in the last two, and they played actually fairly okay against Sweden, but Sweden with a dominating second half got the breakthrough, and when they had to go against Spain, just completely fell over. And it's tough for them. The goal differential is really the main reason why they're now one of the third place teams, getting pampered by 5 goals to Spain. It was just not the result that they needed, and yeah, they're out. But as far as Sweden and Spain, I think they were the two best teams, and I think that they're two teams that can go far at this tournament, really, in my opinion. Noah?
Sweden, I had them finishing third in this group, and they impressed me. Even though, yeah, they impressed me. I mean, I didn't think they would play like this, but they ended up getting the job done, and they won the group, setting up an easier competition in the round of 16. Spain, they were disappointing the first 2 games, as both of y'all said, but today it was encouraging. Like you said, it showed their presence. It showed that they're there. It showed that they can score goals, actually score goals. And they finally had a breakthrough. They passed with purpose. Not like sideways passing is bad. I mean, but like they passed with purpose today, and they led them to get goals. Slovakia, they got a win against Poland, but I mean, they couldn't manage to hold it in the second half against Sweden. And then against Spain, Spain was just a better team.
Yeah.
And
After that own
Poland,
goal, it was
Poland disappointed me. Very disappointing. Not this game. I mean, yeah, actually, they're disappointing. The only person was Lewandowski. He played well today. They got the point against Spain, but Slovakia, they just couldn't get a point.
not today. They were close.
I honestly didn't expect that much for them. I mean, in 2018, it was Lewandowski or bust, and Lewandowski didn't do anything, so they completely busted in that group. This team has never really. Lewandowski always does his best in qualifiers, but when it comes to the tournaments, I know this tournament's actually been pretty decent, especially in this game. But yeah, I mean, yeah, last two hasn't been his tournaments, and this year is not enough. The team they're in turmoil. I'm pretty sure their manager's gonna get sacked, and yeah, I honestly think this is the last we see of Poland in major tournaments. Lewandowski's getting older. This team is getting older in general. Their best players, Kowiak, Szczesny, their goalkeeper. Lewandowski is not what older players, and they have a tough group to manage for World Cup qualifiers with England in there. So, but yeah, accomplishment to Spain and Sweden, who I believe are actually dark horses. So really quickly, the RP. Let's go quickly. How far do you think like Spain realistically can go this tournament? Their peak.
I don't know the matchup exactly. I know they play Croatia. I don't know how the
Their
matchup.
peak. But
But the peak, absolute peak, semifinal. I would say semifinal. They're a
Noah.
good enough team to win
Their peak is semifinals. If they can score goals, their peak is semifinals. Maybe.
I think their peak is honestly not semifinals. I think their peak is finals. I think that they defend really well because they defend with possession, which will limit the amount of chances another team gets on the counter, like a France team. They'll be able to pin them back and limit what France can do on the counter because they defend with possession. And I just think that it really comes down to goals or not. If they can get goals in, if this is really the spring to confidence to pass the ball more forward and get the ball in dangerous areas, I really think the Spain team could be dangerous. I think their absolute peak. Yeah, I think they can go to the finals. In fact, maybe they can even win it all. Maybe they can win it all. They have quality there, and yeah.
I could say that. I could see that.
If Morata
They
can get
score
it
if they score
together,
goals,
or
then they can.
All right,
Dremel, someone their number nine's got to score goals. 'Cause
Imran.
they're gonna create chances. Yeah.
Imran, what's your peak for Sweden?
Uh, I mean, I guess semifinal. I'll say semifinal too, because I think this is their peak. I don't know if they're gonna go to semifinal, but I mean they defend well. Like they defended Spain well. Like we saw how they did there, and they got their point. But in the counter attack, we saw Isak. He's dangerous. They have Forsberg who scored. Did he score 2 goals? Did he score the second? I can't remember.
Yeah, he scored
But
2.
yeah, Forsberg. They have some talent there, and I think they can go to the semifinal. But that's their absolute peak.
So you're saying they have the same peak as Spain?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Noah.
I would say with the way they've been playing, I would say semifinals. By the way, I'm saying that Spain can get to the finals based on
You just said semifinals.
Yeah, but
You
I
convinced
just thought
me.
about it. Just like with the way they've been playing, with their possession, I just think it's like different.
Oh, okay. Do you want to? Okay.
Like what I'm saying is
I think if you have Spain and Sweden and your peak is the same thing for both of them, I think that you have lost yourself. I think there's something wrong. But I got Sweden's peak going to the semifinals because I do think they're actually a really, really good team. But I have Spain going to the final because I think I don't think Spain and Sweden are equal teams. Yes, they drew
I
at
don't know if
Seville,
Spain
but
score that many goals. I mean, they have. I just don't trust Morata. If he's probably gonna be their number nine again.
so Sweden are juggernauts at scoring goals.
All right, here's what I'm gonna
No,
say.
but they'll defend well, and they can be dangerous in the counter attack.
Spain conceded 1 goal the entire tournament. Sweden's conceded 3. Or 2.
Well, it's Lewandowski doing magical stuff, but I get it.
Oh, Lewandowski didn't do magical stuff against Spain. He scored 1 goal,
He
but
got 1 goal.
it was not magical as a header. Yeah, that's confusing. I think you're kind of basing your predictions based on someone else's sayings over there, because no way y'all would have Sweden in the semifinals of no way. Let's be honest here. But yes, I do have Sweden as their peak going to the semifinals because I think that they're hurt teams in transition. They have quality all over the pitch. They're set up well. I've said this many times before. If I'm Sweden, if Germany goes up against Sweden, I'm not a German fan. I just root for them in these group stages because they've been slept on. But if Sweden were to go against Germany, as a German fan, I would be very, very worried because Sweden has everything they got to beat them. They defend well compactly. They limit the time and space for the German players, and they're very physical too. That will be able to handle Germany's power, but they also can hit them on transition. And Germany's transition defending is absolutely awful. It is one of the worst I've ever seen. Germany used to be good defensively, structured really well, but this Germany, even the one in 2018 World Cup, their transition defending is absolutely horrendous, and that will be something that will scare them. But Sweden do have quality, and yes, their peak is semifinals. All right, well, we will move on to Group F. This is the end of Group E. Yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Group F will be posted at the same time, so move on to Group F.